arrived.
Oh! In this video, we're going to unbox the Verizon Internet Gateway and look at some of the features that support business internet. So on top, we've got cardboard, packing slip, showing us what's inside. And then here we have the device itself, the Verizon Internet Gateway. Let's check there's nothing else inside. Some more cardboard in the base. No. So inside this pretty heavy polythene bag, we have the SKU, which is ASK-NCQ1338E for Echo, the Verizon Gateway Business. And we have a IMEI number as well. Okay. So I'm gonna get out my trusty knife once again. There we go. Here we come for me. There we go. Lift it up. All right, now we're starting to get a feel for the size of the device. Package contains power adapter and Ethernet cable. Let's see if this will lift out. Okay, right hand side is the setup guide. Okay, it says, let's get started. Plug it in. Place your device in an open area on an elevated surface. Wait for the device to start up. Do not unplug. Check for a solid white light. When you see a solid white light, you're on the Verizon network and can connect using the Wi-Fi information on the bottom of the device. Okay. For detailed setup instructions, or if you need assistance, please visit, etc., etc. Yeah, and there's a QR code right there. Okay, move that to the side. It's well packed. Okay, you can see the box is quite small. And we can put a ruler beside it, just about 5 inches. Yeah, just over 5 inches tall as well. Let's see if we can make this lift off for us. Ah, here we are. Okay. All right. So here's the base. As you can see, it's got all the various numbers, identifiers, the same as was on the underside of the side of the box itself. There we go. Okay, I can see here a couple of RJ45 ports. And the power supply port. So let's move this out of the way. And I'll push the various other containers to the side for a moment, and let's see what's inside the other package that says power adapter and Ethernet cable. Alrighty, again, beautifully packed. Yeah, I'll put the packaging aside. It's 12 volts, 2 amp supply. Got a little glued retainer. And what I'm going to do is I shall plug this in here like this, and there's a space for it to come through here. You drop it over the side to my closest power supply. Turn it over, assuming this is the back. Okay. And here on the back is what appears to be. Check for solid white light. So at the moment you can see we have a flashing white light. Let's see what happens. Okay, I've got the solid white light. So what I need to do now is I need to connect to Wi-Fi. Okay, now underneath in the box, it tells me here what the Wi-Fi name is and the Wi-Fi password. So let's put it into this laptop. Let's see what we get. Well, found the Wi-Fi name as described on the underside of the box. I am going to connect to it, and then I think we'll do a speed test. Okay, I'm running the speed test. Now I'm anticipating 25 megabits per second. This particular connection is the $99 LTE business internet. And we're seeing very close to what I was anticipating. 25 down, 10 up. Let's test again. Looking a tiny bit higher this time. So this time just a tiny bit over spec. I was anticipating 25 down, 10 megabits per second up. Now, if we look again underneath the box, we can see that we've got two Ethernet ports. Let's play around a little bit and see if we can get a hardwired connection. I just happen to have an Ethernet switch. So let us plug in our Ethernet switch. The D-Link, very standard fare. So take my output from the D-Link and put it into my laptop. Here is the Cat6 cable. It came with the internet gateway. Let's make sure I get it in the right way around. Okay, clicks in relatively easily. Let's put the other end into one of the ports here. There we go. Okay, getting a flashing light on the output. I'm getting some live lights there, one in, one out on the Ethernet switch. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at my screen and see if we can connect. And here we can see that I have a hardwired connection. Okay, let's just run a speed test once again while we are connected via the hardwire. I'm going to run the speed test again. Not anticipating any gigantic difference between the hardwired and the Wi-Fi. And here we can see that the speed is roughly the same again. At this point, we've established that we have a Wi-Fi connection with the anticipated bandwidth to the cell tower. The box has worked with Wi-Fi and the box is working with Ethernet as well. We've established that it gives IP addresses inside, because this is only an Ethernet switch, does not include routing. So let's try something else. Let's just try and see if we can connect a VoIP system and if that's going to work. So I've got a very simple VoIP system here. I'm going to connect to my switch. So I'm going to turn this the right way up just for a moment. We've still got the Ethernet cable coming from the gateway to my Ethernet switch. And then I've got one of the outputs from the Ethernet switch hardwired to my laptop. And now what I brought in is an old-fashioned tone phone, which I'm going to plug in here. And some of you may recognize this. It's relatively old technology. It's an OB-High. It's an OB-High SIP connection. Okay, I've got a power supply for it, which I'll move over here and plug in on the back. All right, so it's powered up, as you can see. What I'm going to do now is plug that also into the Ethernet switch. Now let's see what we get. So looking over here, we can see we have a connection. Waiting for the other green light to light up for us. Got a flashing light now, you can see on the telephone line. It just went solid. So hopefully when I pick up the telephone now, I should hear a tone. And sure enough, I have a live telephone line. You know, just so you know that this is really working, let me take my telephone. I'm going to call the number. Calling it now. There you go. Excellent. What I think we'll do now is we're going to use my hardwired laptop to look at the admin system inside the box, and we're going to play around and see if we can create a guest Wi-Fi that's separate from the business Wi-Fi, and also see if we can change the password and the SSID. So let's look and see. I am now sitting down at my desk with the laptop in front of me, and I still have the Verizon Internet Gateway connected, as we've seen in the other videos. And down here in the base, we have a number of very useful pieces of information. Not only is there the Wi-Fi name and the Wi-Fi password that we've looked at before, but there's also the network settings URL, the internal URL 192.168.0.1, and the password to go into admin. So I am now going to go onto my laptop and search on that URL. Let's see what we get. I'm going to type in that URL 192.168.0.1. 801. Let's see what we get. Okay, it's asking for my admin password. There we are. Excellent. Okay. Let's look and see what we've got. MAC address, software version. Obviously we're connected. Okay, there appears to be in the menu quite a lot of information that one would normally see in a regular router. Let's look at Wi-Fi settings. So there is the SSID. Let's play around with it. Let's make it nice and simple. I'm going to show my password. Okay. So it looks like we need to have at least 8 characters. Neil is fantastic. Okay. Is it going to insist upon numbers or special characters? Let's find out. Now remember, we are still connected, hardwired via Ethernet through my Ethernet switch. Okay, so fiddling about with Wi-Fi shouldn't make any difference to our connection to the admin system. Let's go back and now look at other settings that are available for us. Oh, now this looks interesting. Secondary network. Okay then. So we have a second one called guest. Let's see what the password is set at. Okay. So that's an interesting password, but it's already set for us. I'm going to leave that as it is, but I'm sure we could change it to become whatever we wished it to be. All right, so we now know that we have a secondary network available and it's only on 2.4 gigahertz. And I am going to hit save. And there is the guest one is now available for your guests within the business. And obviously we can go back over here and we can make the Wi-Fi password for your guests a little bit easier than that if you wish to do so. You remember that most of the information I needed to get started is on the underside, so you may like to leave the settings and the passwords just as they are on the underside of the box. In my previously in these videos I showed you how to change the SSID and or the password. Obviously entirely up to you once you have it, but let's just take a moment to look at what else is available in the admin page on 192.168.0.1. Okay, so I'm still at Wi-Fi settings. Let's go back to the home settings. Very general information here. We are connected. WPS is off. I have an IP address. So this is the external, the wide area network or public internet, if you like, IP address. There's the MAC address and the software version in the gateway just now. Last time we looked at the Wi-Fi settings. So there's the current Wi-Fi name. Actually, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to put it back to the factory setting. Put it to that. I'm going to hit save again. Let's see what else we have here. We have network map. shouldn't be very much on it at the moment. So we have the wide area network connection that we just saw. We've got 0 devices right this minute connected on Wi-Fi, and we've got 2 hardwired connections at the moment. The first one being my actual laptop that we're looking at just now, and you'll also remember that I have a very simple one phone VoIP iteration running just now as well. Let's come down to network status. Okay, there is my wide area IP address and my default gateway. Connection type is cellular, because of course we're getting 25 megabits down, 10 megabits up to the cell tower. In this case, we're on the $99 service, which of course is LTE Business Internet. But you all know there are versions of this same box that you can use for ultra wideband all the way up to 200 self-install, okay? And of course the 400 megabits per second when it's professional install as well. Let's again look and see what else we have in the left hand side. Cellular traffic query. Okay, oh, monthly usage. So you can see I've not used very much yet. Okay, all right. Oh, APN setting, okay. AZW internet. What we got for LAN? Okay, so the IP address of the gateway itself is 192.168.0.1. DHCP is switched on, and there's the range that's allowed, of course, 2 to 254. All right, lease time is lasting for 24 hours before it simply resets. Wonder what it says for IPv6. Okay, IPv6 is on, not surprisingly. In a previous screen, we actually saw its address. Let's see the client list. Okay, it's showing the 2 devices that we already saw in the network diagram. Yeah, so this is actually the laptop that I'm on just now, which has got this address, 250. And here is my OB200 SIP VoIP device, which has been assigned 119. Device settings, if I can click on it. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to ping just now. I shouldn't have a DMZ just now. Okay, it's off, of course. All right, so we can see there's quite a lot of functionality that comes with this, not unlike a standard wireline router. Oh, virtual server settings, not going to look at that, but I am interested in seeing the QoS. Let's look and see. Let's turn on QoS. All right, but what's it doing for me? Add new. Alrighty, so in effect, if I wish to, I can limit the actually, let's try that. Let's see, do we need to fill in everything? Do I need to have a device name, or just so my VoIP device, I want to, have the highest quality of service on my VoIP device if at all possible. Let's see if I can restrict the bandwidth of my very own laptop. Let's go again and look at the device settings. Come on, oh, cancel. I want to restrict this MAC address. Okay, ready to save. Save, finish. Excellent. So there you have it. I've limited the bandwidth of my very own laptop
in the gateway. But as you can see, quite a lot of functionality there, you know, equivalent to a mid-range wireline router, shall we say. So I'm most impressed with the Verizon Internet Gateway. Thanks for watching.